Ryan Stevens, resident soul aficionado and apologist, has been thinking upon beasts as of late. Rumors and speculation might as well be bread and butter before E3, a primal sustenance that in turn will erupt into an abundance of ambrosia. But man cannot live on that alone. He also needs half-moon grass and some Estus to wash it down. We're talking Project Beast, whose ghostly compressed screenshots along with some scattershot commentary have led many to believe that we could be looking at the heir apparent to Boletaria, that is, Demon Souls. Regardless of the legitimacy of the leak and the mounting evidence to prove its validity, here's what we're hoping to despair over on the PlayStation 4. The Souls games have shifted, but a sense of lunacy along with a fantasy look has been the trappings. While swords and shields are a given, the idea of a shotgun has been floating around. Archery and spells have given the past games distance, with arrows finally finding a happy balance in Dark Souls 2. Adding a flintlock or a blunderbuss won't ruin the atmosphere, nor the gameplay, as long as reload times are balanced. Think loading the black powder musket in Metal Gear Solid 4. Likewise, the medieval European vibe can certainly unfurl a few centuries into the dark realms of the Enlightenment, with one screenshot revealing a posse of villagers patrolling a cemetery. We're sure castles and keeps will continue to make strong battlements, while the Valley of Defilement, Blight Town, and the gutters, shanties, and swamps will reemerge as the most hated spots in the game. But if this is Demon Souls, do we need a nexus, a hub? While this being a direct sequel may not mean anything from a plot point, the interconnected Dark Worlds have garnered universal praise. The Maiden in Black can stay, but let the world ramble, but more in a Dark Souls 1 way, with brilliant shortcuts cementing the physicality of the world. Fast travel is a privilege, not a right, and areas should be pockmarked with seemingly inaccessible crannies, rewarding the best sort of backtracking and observation. On that note, optional secret areas are key, and we're best in Dark Souls 1, where the Painted World, Ash Lake, and returning to the Undead Asylum shone. The PvP bell zones of Dark Souls 2 are a good idea, but pale in comparison. Speaking of bells, hearing another player out there ring the bells is a nice touch, as is seeing the cursed remains of fools in the depths. Supposedly, the candles of Looking Glass Night were supposed to mirror the world as well, but more subtle connections would be amazing. Along the same lines, Demon Souls' hard-to-understand and harder-to-pull-off tendency systems should return in some way, using developer From's new knowledge of the bonfire aesthetic to remix zones. Zones, likewise, shouldn't have too many checkpoints. Making it through a Demon Souls area was harrowing and rewarding with the knowledge of just how much sanctuary there could be. While we like the trepidation wondering if a bonfire sits behind a fog door, or a boss, more distance between shelters is paramount, like what No Man's Wharf offered. From simply needs to commit to its additions. Pardon the repetition, but darkness was more complete and just darker in Dark Souls 1 than its sequel. The Tomb of Giants is a real nightmare, while the gutter is a chance to use a torch, but only if you really want. Multiplayer is good in Dark Souls 2, but let's put an end to being crack orb addicts. Give us a fully formed way to be devious. The ecosystem needs it for the Covenants to work, as any would-be Blue Sentinel can proffer. And keep this newly coined adage in mind: peer-to-peer, have fear. Dedicated server for great fervor. Or something like that. Pyromancy has been great, and if the rumors are true, it's back. But as hackneyed as Elemental Spellfare is, maybe it's time to bring on the ice. From shipped Dark Souls 1 saying it was content complete, and we got great DLC anyway. What if Project Beast took on the mantle of MMO Light with quarterly content drops? We'd gladly pay to continue to touch the demon inside. What we don't want are the bad MMO tropes, like pulling foes while their friends are oblivious. Oh, but please keep in the wobbly, wonky corpses. There's always more to say, theories on weapon ascension, or how healing should work, or the quickness of combat, or how we want the real-life assassin bug to be represented and wear our corpses as armor, or implementation of the Sri Lankan Urumi, a flexible whip sword, or next-gen lighting, or hitboxes, or innovative DualShock 4 controls, or not. Where is Ryan crazy? Where is he on the mark? Is Project Beast even real? Comment below, praise the sun, and Obasa.